Hey Maya, can I ask you something?
Sure.
If I tell you your presentation was interesting, would you be happy?
Absolutely not. That word has never led to anything good.
Exactly. And that's fascinating because if you look at the dictionary, interesting sounds positive.
But if your boss says it, you're updating your resume tonight.
Right, and that's one of the strangest things about American English. Sometimes the words aren't the message is hiding underneath the words.
Which explains why immigrants spend years learning English and still occasionally leave meetings having no idea what just happened.
Exactly. And that reminds me, didn't your manager send you some feedback recently that completely confused you?
Oh, don't remind me. My manager sent me feedback on a report last week. She said, Nodek, and I quote, "This is a good start." And I genuinely could not tell if she liked it or if she was being polite about hating it.
It was the second one.
That's what I figured, but then my American coworker read the same email and said, "Oh, she liked it." We were looking at the exact same words.
You read the words, she read the message. And that difference, that gap is what we're talking about today. If you've spent any time in an American workplace or around American colleagues, you've probably felt it, this low-level confusion where everything sounds fine but something feels slightly off. That's not your English. That's indirect communication. And it doesn't just happen in small talk, it happens in performance reviews, in interviews, in feedback emails. If you're taking American English at face value, you are constantly misreading the room.
And the worst part is you don't know you're doing it.
Exactly. So today, what indirect American communication actually looks like, why it exists, and how you decode it. There's a whole layer of meaning that nobody teaches you. We're going to hand you the translation. Welcome to Almost Native, where we close the gap between the English you learned and the English people actually speak.
Can I tell you the most embarrassing thing that happened to me in my first month here?
Please.
After a team meeting, a colleague, lovely person, very warm, said to me, "Oh, we should totally grab coffee sometime." So I went back to my desk and sent her a calendar invite for Thursday with a location.
Oh no.
She replied, very kindly, very warmly, I'm so slammed this month, maybe next time." And I spent 3 days thinking I had done something wrong.
You hadn't done anything wrong, but we should grab coffee. In American English is almost never an actual plan. It means, I like you, this was a good conversation. It's social warmth. It's not scheduling.
I know that now. I very much did not know that then.
And this is everywhere. Let me throw a few phrases at you, just tell me how they land. First one. Your manager reviews your project and says, "I think there's a lot of potential here."
That sounds encouraging?
It means it's not ready. Potential means the value is in the future. Right now, quaint, not there yet.
Okay, what about someone gives you written feedback? Love the direction, just a few minor tweaks and it'll be perfect.
The tweaks are not minor. Minor tweaks in a feedback email almost always means significant changes. The enthusiasm at the beginning? That's the cushion. The real message is the second half.
The positivity is covering the criticism.
Exactly. Now this one, and I want your gut reaction, not your calculated one. End of a meeting, your boss says, "This has been really helpful. I'll definitely think about it."
Okay, that one still sounds fine to me. Like maybe she actually will?
She won't. I'll think about it. From someone senior, at the end of a meeting, with no follow-up question, is a polite no, especially when it comes with definitely. The word definitely is doing a lot of work to soften the landing.
My old manager said that to me after I asked about a promotion.
How long ago?
8 months. I'm still technically waiting.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was a no.
I kind of knew, I just didn't want to believe it.
Here's the core thing. American professional communication, especially in workplaces and formal settings, is built around protecting two things at once. The speaker doesn't want to seem confrontational or unkind. The listener doesn't want to feel attacked or embarrassed. Indirect language solves both at the same time.
Okay, but honest pushback, isn't that just confusing? If everyone said what they actually meant, no one would be sitting around trying to decode their manager's emails.
That's a completely fair point, and it is a real criticism of this style, but here's why it exists. American workplace culture places enormous value on maintaining positive energy and protecting the relationship, auto-step repair. even when delivering hard feedback. Direct criticism, even honest and well-meaning criticism, can feel aggressive in that context. So the indirectness isn't deception, it's a social layer that keeps the relationship intact while still getting the message across.
So the politeness is doing real work. It's not just meaningless.
It's not meaningless. You just have to learn to read it. And here's the rule: if I had to give you one clear principle to hold on to, the more enthusiastic the framing, the more carefully you should read what follows.
The more positive the setup, the more important the second half.
That's it. And it connects back to everything from part A. Remember the feedback email? Love the direction. Just a few minor tweaks. The love the direction part was real. But the minor tweaks part is what you actually needed to act on. One more pattern worth knowing. Phrases like interesting, potential, one way to look at it, and I'll think about it. Those are almost never neutral. They're softeners. They carry a message.
So once I know the patterns, it becomes readable.
It stops being mysterious. It's a system. Nobody hands you the key, but once you have it, the whole language changes. 3 scenarios. Just tell me what's really being said and what you do about it.
Let's go.
You're in a job interview. You give your answer. The interviewer says, "That's a really unique perspective." Maya thinks for a second.
Based on everything, that's not great. Unique probably means unexpected in a way that wasn't what they were looking for.
That's the right read most of the time. Unique in an interview rarely means impressive. It usually means surprising, and not in the planned way. But you can recover. Try, "Is there anything you'd like me to expand on?" That reopens the door without making the awkward moment worse.
Give them the space to redirect you without embarrassing anyone.
Exactly. Second one. A coworker reviews your presentation slides and writes back, "These are great, so much energy. I just wonder if the structure could be a bit clearer in places."
Okay, I just wonder if. That's not wondering. That's a request disguised as a question.
Yes, "I just wonder if" is one of the most common indirect request forms in American professional English. It means, "Please change this." The enthusiasm is genuine, but it doesn't soften the feedback. Act on the second half.
Read the hedge as the real instruction.
Good. Last one. This one's tricky. Your manager says in your annual review, "You've grown so much this year, I really see you developing."
That one genuinely feels positive to me. Is there a catch?
It depends on what comes after. You've grown and you're developing are both real compliments. But if there's no mention of where you're heading, no next step, no timeline, it can mean you improved but you're not ready for the next level yet. Developing is still in progress.
So I should ask directly.
That's exactly the right move. Say, "I'm really glad to hear that. I'd love to understand what the path forward looks like for me." Meet their indirectness with a direct question. In that moment, it's completely appropriate.
Use their softness to open the real conversation.
That's the skill.
Okay, what's the thing native speakers do that no one ever teaches you?
There is a phrase in American spoken English that genuinely baffles people when they first hear it, and that phrase is, "not totally."
No, totally. Those 2 words should cancel each other out.
Linguistically, absolutely. But in American English, "not totally" means, "I hear you, I understand what you're saying." It is an acknowledgement, not agreement. When someone says "not totally," that makes sense. They have not said yes, they haven't agreed with you, they've confirmed they're still listening.
So you could walk out of a conversation thinking someone agreed with you.
And they were just acknowledging you existed. Yeah, and this matters in meetings especially. If someone says "not totally," we'll look into that. That is not a commitment. It's a soft response to close the loop.
What about British English? Is it the same kind of indirectness?
Different flavor entirely, and I'll say something that might surprise you. Americans are actually more indirect when it comes to professional criticism. A British manager might say, "I'm not entirely sure this approach is the right one," which sounds mild, but in British English that's a fairly clear criticism. An American manager says, "Oh, I love the thinking here, I just wonder if we could maybe explore some other directions too."
Same message.
Completely different amount of packaging around it. And here's the honest truth. Even native speakers get this wrong. A British person in an American office will often read American politeness as genuine approval and be blindsided when the project gets pulled. The indirectness isn't dishonesty, but it can cause real confusion even between native speakers, so if you've been misreading it, you're in good company.
Okay, if I had to explain this episode to someone who missed it, Americans communicate indirectly because their culture prioritizes keeping relationships positive, especially at work. Phrases like, good start, lots of potential, I'll think about it, those are almost always softer versions of harder messages. The more enthusiastic the setup, the more carefully you read what comes after. And when something really matters, a promotion, a big project, you're allowed to ask directly. You don't have to match their indirectness forever.
That's exactly right. And I'd add, this isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone. Most people aren't trying to mislead you. They're trying to deliver something difficult without damaging the relationship. Once you know the patterns, you stop feeling confused and start feeling informed. That's the actual shift.
Read the system, not just the words.
That's it. Here's what I keep coming back to. Indirect communication isn't really about hiding things. It's about finding a way to say something hard while keeping the other person's dignity intact. Sometimes that's genuine kindness. Sometimes it delays a conversation you needed to have weeks earlier. Knowing which one you're dealing with, that's not cynicism. That's clarity.
And that coffee invite from my first month? 4 years later, we actually did go. Took 3 accidental hallway run-ins and 1 very long project deadline together, but it happened. And it was good coffee.
Worth the wait.
If this helped you read the room a little better, stick around. We have a lot more of these.